Well now, that was freaking cool. So yeah, I literally just got out of Alita, Battle Angel, and I just have to say, that was freaking awesome. Like seriously, Rosa Salazar as Alita, she is freaking adorable. I loved her. The CGI in this movie, we have reached that level of Uncanny Valley where it doesn't look photorealistic, but the CGI next to humans doesn't look unsettling or off-putting in any way. They blend together really well. I loved it. Christoph Waltz as a scientist. I'm all over the place because I'm so excited. I literally just got out of the movie, so let me take a breather really quick. Okay, I had to get some zen back into me for a moment. So Alita Battle Angel, if you like movies in general, you're going to enjoy this movie. If you want to nitpick, you will probably find things to nitpick. There was some weird editing choices and some continuity errors that are kind of, if you notice those kind of things, you're going to notice them. If you don't notice those kind of things, you're not going to notice it. So yeah, that one guy, that guy. Sorry, I'm not going to look up his name because I honestly just don't care to. He's great in everything I see. Well, he's not, he plays the same thing in everything. He's that piece of garbage that says one-liners and then gets shot down. He was that in Jurassic World, he was that in Bumblebee, he was that in this, and he's probably going to be that same character in Detective Pikachu, honestly. Which, hey, come on, who am I to be talking? You got typecast, but you're making that Hollywood money, right? Right? I wouldn't complain either. But that's literally all he plays. He plays the same thing in freaking everything. We're not gonna lie about that. Everyone in this movie does really good, honestly. The Hugo, his character's name's Hugo. I've seen him in so many things. I can't remember his name right now. I'm sorry, but he does the romance of this movie. The romance in this movie is good. Like, it's kind of corny, but they play young adults in love, and coming from a person who lives with a young adult who's in love, the dialogue seems a little like at times, but I'm like, okay, that's realistic. Young adult love, the dialogue could get kind of corny at times, so I'm not going to hold that to him. I'm going to say, good job, you actually did that right. Another thing that I thought was really awesome is there's no politics in this movie. We have a tough female lead who doesn't lord over anybody. She's so humble and sweet. I love Alita. I love the character of Alita, and this is coming from a person who, I like anime, and manga, but I've never read the Alita manga. So yes, this video is coming from a completely unbiased point of view. I have no before this movie, I know nothing about Alita, but I know Cyberpunk, I know Ghost in the Shell, stuff like that. And this movie, if you like that kind of stuff, you're probably going to dig this movie. It's pretty awesome in that regard. This movie was directed by Robert Rodriguez, which, if you've ever seen Sin City, it kind of makes sense. That movie's based off a comic, and it's basically a comic come to life. And I know Sin City. I love those comics, and he got that translation down on part. But you can tell with this movie, they got a lot of stories that were like this, broke them down to that, had one big story like this, and then broke that down to that and said, okay, here's your 2-hour and 20-minute movie, which I understand they had to do that. There's going to be a lot of people that probably are really knowledgeable about the Alita manga that are going to be like, oh, this was left out, this was left out, this was left out. Well, come on, they had to condense it to like that. And for that, I didn't feel, for somebody who was completely unaware of Alita, I understood what was happening. And that's what's important. I understood what was happening. I was having a fantastic time watching it. And the world is so freaking interesting. Like, when you start thinking about the mechanical and the biological stuff, it's kind of like, what? But when you're just like, okay, this is the new world, it's fun. It's fun to watch. I had a great time watching this movie. So, if you like anime at all, I'm a huge anime fan, and this movie felt like an anime. But live action, kind of. Like 80%, no, 70%, maybe even 50 or 40% live action. I'm not saying that as a bad thing at all. I'm not saying that as a bad thing at all. It works for this movie. The world that this movie is in is very different than our own, but it's not so foreign as that you're going to be like, oh my goodness, what's going on? The movie does a good job of explaining to us what's happening without it being too expository, dumpy kind of deal. You know that whole, like, okay, I'm this character that's going to tell you everything you need to know. No, this movie doesn't really do that at all. There's separate characters. You learn bits and pieces here and there. There are some flashbacks that fill you in on other pieces. And yeah, this movie is just really well done. If you like video games, if you like steampunk, if you like Ghost in the Shell, if you like corny teen, young adult romances, there's seriously so much more that I want to say. I'm going to have to do another video. This movie is I have to do another video, a spoiler talk, because there's so much to talk about that I don't want to spoil. But if you like any of those things, if you like anime, if you like to just be entertained, if you like corny romances, I'm not the biggest fan, but this one wasn't overbearing, but it's there. It's very obviously there, and it has some corny dialogue. If any of that sounds fun. Oh, and the action, like I didn't even touch on the action. The action in this movie is great. It's super fun to watch. And it's cool having a strong female character who's not telling me I'm horrible for being a man. There's equality in this film. True equality. Equality is good. Equality is nice when it's done right. And this movie does it right. Thank you, Alita Battle Angel. So yeah, that's basically it. If any of that sounds good to you, crazy sci-fi action, adorable lead character that's not annoying in any way, corny romance, cool, awesome sci-fi world that just wants you to have more. Like, oh, the movie just kind of ends. It just kind of, I'm letting you know right now, like, they're setting, it's major sequel bait here, but again, the world feels like it deserves a sequel. And I want to know more. And I'm pretty sure if you go see this film, you'll probably be feeling the same. And well, that's all I have to say. I highly recommend this movie. There's nothing really bad about it. There's a little bit of skin, but there's no real nudity. All the blood is basically replaced with cyber blue blood. So, yeah, nothing really there to offend the kiddies. Yeah, it's good. It'll be a good time for the family. Alita Battle Angel. Alita Battle Angel. Go see it. Enjoy it. Have a good time. I hope you all have a great night, and God bless.